I feel like it's time for us to like go away from here, you know what I mean? I've been thinking about it for a long time. T, let's go to Africa.
Shit, nigga, please, be for real.
Yo, I've never been more serious in my life. I mean, we've been to the islands, we've been everywhere. Who says we can't go to Africa? That's all we ever talk about. That's our dream, to go to our homeland, where our roots are.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach.
We're taking our talents to Africa.
What?
To Africa.
What?
To Ghana.
What? What? Oh my God, this is big news.
Open your eyes.
When I opened my eyes, I couldn't believe it. Africa, for real. I felt like I never really seen clouds before. I felt like the sky was a different color blue, the trees a different color green, and the people too. The people were beautiful. It felt right. It was harmony, like I wasn't far from home. It's like a whole new beginning.
Hello and welcome to Off the Wheel. We are the new wave of Black American expats who've decided to jump off of the wheel to leave America and to create a new life in Africa. For us, it was Ghana. How did we end up here? Well, we just asked one simple question. Would life here in Africa be better than in America? Would life here be better in Ghana than in New York City? And for us, the answer was yes. And we ask you to ask yourselves the same question. Hello, I'm Dale.
And I'm Dacia.
Off the Wheel is also a membership community of like-minded people. And what I mean by that is people who are excited and honored to live here and be here, people who see more solutions than problems, people who tend to do more than complain, and people who come with good intentions. We come with humility. No one sent us to rescue Ghana, and we don't pretend to have all the answers. But more importantly, we put our money where our mouths are, because we do have the passion to use our privilege, our resources, and our capital to make our neighborhoods better, our city better, and the country better. So consider joining our group. Also, we have a new format describing the projects that we are working on. These are projects that we are leading on. These are projects that we are partnering on. These are projects that we are consulting on. And these are projects that we are funding and or financing. So if you're interested in either our Expat Impact Tours, this is a tour experience where we show all the great things that expats are doing here. Or if you're interested in our senior living project here in Ghana for future Ghana residents, where some of you don't want to buy land and build, but you still want to live here, move-in ready. Or for those of you interested in one of our 3 ready-to-build housing modules that will be built within a year. So you'll have a year to tidy up your affairs in America, and your house will be built to preset specifications in less than 1 year. You have that option. If you're interested, you can reach out to us. Or for those of you who are interested in investing in real estate, primarily Airbnbs, or for those of you interested in sourcing authentic products from Ghana, for you vendors, you wholesalers, you entrepreneurs, we have Ghanaian products surrounding cosmetics, hair products, cocoa butter products, shea butter products, that's either a finished product or raw shea butter. We also have our own Ghana Sham product, where we partnered with local Ghanaian tailors and seamstresses who do all of our work. We'll show you some pictures of the Ghana Shams. This is what it looks like packaged. We also work with Ghanaian entrepreneurs who create high demand products that sell in New York City and also America at really good, affordable, and wholesale pricing. We also have raw kente materials for export. What most people don't know about buying material here in Ghana is that 90% of the fabric is fake, either from China or the Netherlands. So it's important that you buy products that are authentic, 100% Ghanaian sourced. So every time you purchase one of our products here that we have for sale, or you import one of our products that a Ghanaian has created for export, you're stimulating the local Ghanaian economy. And we can make arrangements to get any of these products that are of interest to you straight to the US. Now, if you're watching this and any of these things interest you, and information will also be detailed in the description. Now, these are businesses started by expats as well as businesses created by local Ghanaians who are in need of capital. So we invite you to invest, to collaborate, to patronize, and we aim to have more of these projects in the pipeline as we grow. And as this list grows, and if you, the viewer, is interested, I would dedicate one entire video just to these projects that we're involved in so we can dig deeper. So let me know if something like this interests you. Now, regarding our Airbnb, we want to announce that any guest who stay with us for 7 days or more gets one of these sporty looking off the wheel t-shirts. Now, our apartments are priced way less expensive than hotels, and you have the option to cook for yourself and save a little money. We've had several large groups that have saved a lot of money by cooking meals at home. Our Airbnb is super clean, safe, modern. It's right in back of the mall, which is a big deal here in Ghana. And also be aware that we can now host up to 16 guests between 3 Airbnbs. Take a look.
Traveling to Ghana? We got you covered. Off the Wheel is offering affordable Airbnbs and a do-it-yourself travel guide. Our apartment units are modern, comfortable, safe, and 100% as advertised. Did we say affordable? Why pay expensive hotel rates when you can get a more authentic experience for a better price? And we have even more savings for you. Once you've booked, we provide all the details needed to visit the must-see Ghana tourist attractions. We give you the cost per person, lunch estimates, travel costs, and a suggested tip, so that you can create your own DIY travel itinerary that fits your schedule and your budget. For those that want an all-inclusive travel package at a higher price point, we can pass you on to our travel partners. Whether you're traveling solo or in a group, we can service from 1 to 12 travelers. Enjoy on-premise amenities like tennis and racket sports, basketball, pool, and more. We even provide airport pickup and drop-off. Once you compare costs, you'll see that DIY traveling with our personal insight will allow you to enjoy Ghana for a reasonable cost. Who knows? With all the money you saved, you might donate to a local cause or invest in a local initiative project through our sister partner, Expat Impact. Hosted by 2 former New Yorkers from Brooklyn who jumped off the wheel and moved to Ghana, who'll be your on-premises attendants to support and guide you.
We can't wait to show you what life could be like off the wheel.
Looking forward to hosting you.
See you in Ghana. But before we start this video, and what we are most proud and excited to announce and to promote, our newest project that we're a part of is Ghana Bubble AirBnB hotels. These are eco-friendly, nature-immersed, luxury living to be located in some of the most prime locations here in Ghana. Our first location will be in the Accra Botanical Gardens, which is like the Central Park of Manhattan, or the Prospect Park or Brooklyn Botanical Gardens. It's a big deal. So please take a look at our Airbnb listing, reach out for more questions if you have more questions, and look out to start booking these hotel bubbles in mid-December. So Dacia, today's a special day. This is our 1-year anniversary of moving to Ghana. What do you think?
Well, actually, when the video is posted, it might be like a year and a month past, but so far so good.
Okay. So today's video is entitled 1 Year Living in Ghana. Are we leaving or are we staying? Is this even a serious question? I think it is, because many Americans that move to Ghana don't last. A pretty high percentage of Americans end up going back for a variety of reasons. Some get disillusioned, many get disappointed, a lot run out of money, surprisingly, and many are actually run out of town. But for us, what has been our experience? We'll just have a little chat on our first year experience, the good, the bad, the ugly. So our first topic is surprises. We'll just start with good surprises. So for me, although I had heard about it, you really can't understand it until you get here, just how nice Ghanaians are. And coming from New York, where you could be bleeding on the street, dying on a sidewalk, and people will step over you just to go get a coffee from Starbucks. But here in Ghana, the people are very nice. I would even say too nice. Let me just give you one example. I recently had a fender bender where a big truck hits the back of my car. And we were stuck in a way that had I tried to drive off, or had the truck tried to back up, it would have just ripped the car in half. As I'm sitting in the car, about 20 Ghanaians just came over, said, stay in the car. They picked up the car, they moved it across the street safely. I was so shocked. This is something that would have never happened in New York, but this was just one example that just totally surprised me, just how supportive and nice and considerate the Ghanaians generally are.
I mean, I was scared when I was hearing about it, but I digress on that. But so for most of you who know me personally, I'm generally like a homebody. I enjoy being at home, absorbed in my own world. And if I go out generally, it's earlier. I don't really stay out too late. In the US, I worried about like harm coming to me if I'm hanging out too late. I mean, since being here in Ghana, I was surprised at how comfortable I felt going out. It wasn't initially, but as time went on, I felt comfortable. That I've been enjoying a really nice nightlife here, from Kazumba dancing to theater productions, a little club hopping, nighttime barbecue, street food. I mean, regardless, I still carry my New York alertness wherever I go. I mean, that will never leave me, but my comfort level has definitely improved.
And I'm surprised about how easy in life can be without the burden of racism. No cops of this race killing another race of people. No one following you around in stores because you look suspicious. The list goes on and on. In the States, we just got so used to this. It was like an everyday part of life. It became normalized. You almost couldn't imagine a world without it. I mean, you could hope for it, but you really couldn't imagine it. And all of our friends, our non-person of color friends, always found this difficult to grasp and even talk about. And here in Ghana, us Black Americans who moved here often joke that it's a strange thing to feel what white privilege have always felt. More specifically, how to move around in life and never feel weird in a room, never feel the danger of being shot, never having to worry about getting into a brawl with people who don't have your best interest in mind. In other words, never having to have your race be a liability.
I mean, I definitely have to agree with that. I mean, I don't have the same fear of the police here. Notice I said same, meaning that the fear of being like abused or being killed isn't here. But I do remember when we were pulled over within a month of being here, I was more afraid of the scolding and the rigid demeanor more than anything else. And also because, cops here, police here, they look like you. I mean, all of them look like you. So that feeling of defensiveness, that wall that you put up that comes in the US, that's not here.
Also, what has been kind of surprising for me has been the entrepreneurial buzz that's intoxicating. So many ideas, so many opportunities. The future of Ghana is so bright. It's not like I expected Ghana to be like a lazy, sleepy town, but I really didn't expect the level and the intensity of people just trying to make ish happen. There's so much talent waiting to be unleashed with just a little capital, a little counsel, a little collaboration. Now, let's just talk about some of the bad surprises.
Well, the bad for me is that, most native Ghanaians don't really know the history of American slavery, that we were all originally from Africa, and they still learn under like the old British colonial system of education. So when they do hear, they do definitely want to know more, but I guess I had this really bad misconception that our history was known here.
Now, if you watch our videos, you may come away with this feeling that we're always romanticizing Ghana. Ghana is perfect, can do no wrong, which obviously is not true. But because we don't really complain, you would get that impression. So I'll just share one bad thing, that happened to me recently. Every now and then I experience some hiccup out of left field that I just have to learn how to roll with. But we had just come back from the States. We had a bunch of new crisp $100 bills to deposit into our dollar account. And I went to the bank and they said, sorry, can't take your money. That's right. For about 2 weeks, I could not put money into my account. Couldn't take money out, but couldn't put money in the account. Now, this wasn't a countrywide issue. It was just like 4 or 5 banks. But it's just one of those weird things that happen here that could stress you out. So there's a bunch of these little things like that. So yes, Ghana is not perfect. Now, in America, this would have ignited a class action lawsuit if you couldn't access your money for an hour. Forget about weeks.
For me, the bad has really been the standards of the roads. As I said in my good things I like about Ghana, I really enjoy going out here. But because of the lack of consistently good roads, I haven't really ventured out driving on major roads. In New York, I would drive 4 hours one way up north, down south. I would drive in the snow and heavy rain, and I would drive out any time without a second thought. Here, if it rains, you have to think about, what potholes, or rather what craters I might sink into. So, or what kind of mud is, slid into the road. So for now, I just use an Uber when I need to venture out in bad weather. We all prefer our independence and being able to go where we want, but traveling on a road I'm not familiar with inconsistent road infrastructure, for now, I'm not doing it. Not that. Definitely not doing that. Now this one, he's got the Ghana driving down packed.
Yeah, you often tell me I drive like a Ghanaian, which I'm not sure if that's an insult or a compliment, but that's a different story. Next topic. What I know now that I wish I knew on day one. So for me, let's just say this. How Americans treat time and appointments and how Ghanaians treat time and appointments, very different. For Ghanaians, it's not disrespectful in their minds when they're late. In my circles, being late in some cases is the same as cursing someone out. So I had to learn to add more time and cushion in between my meetings to account for this cultural difference. Now, you either have to adapt or you go insane.
I agree. I think for me, I wish I knew how essential an SUV would be. I know I'm focusing on roads, but it's just in my mind all the time. We hadn't made the type of vehicle we were going to get a priority. In retrospect, we should have, without a doubt, gotten a vehicle that could handle all Ghana terrain, making us less hesitant to travel about.
The next topic would be, what are you most pleased about? So I'm pleased about the full circle of how my life has transpired. Now, it was Daisy's idea to move here, but in my mind, I've kind of convinced myself that it was my idea. I'm pleased at how the puzzle pieces of my life have fallen into place. Remember, my mother was born in Alabama on a sharecropper's farm or plantation. She worked cotton fields, came to New York, birthed me, put me through school so that I could thrive in an environment that taught me nothing about my history, neither on the state side or the African side. So for me to be here in Ghana, where my DNA has been traced to be around people that I relate to on a molecular level, it's been a dream come true. But one of those dreams that when you wake up, you can't quite remember the dream. It starts out like a fuzzy dream. But once I came here, that fuzzy dream became crystal clear, like 4K clear. We're at the Slave River, where our ancestors were marched down to be cleaned before they were sold. And instead of going into the last bath, we went into the first bath as a celebratory ritual for the descendants of those ancestors coming home. So we just had our first bath in this sacred river, the same water that our ancestors bathed in to be proper and clean property to be sold. So it's pretty intense feeling to be down here walking in the same path as the people who came before us. But it's also cleansing and sense of relief in some interesting ways.
Interesting. For me, another good surprise has been, the arts and the cultural events and offerings that are here. I mean, it's really plentiful. Every week I can find something to do or to engage in, from the recent Chalewote Festival of Arts to the gathering of Garveyites, Marcus Garvey events that I went to last month, to the garden and flower show, health and beauty show, the food festival. What I appreciate about these things are really meeting the local vendors, and they're showcasing, their creativeness and their talent for all the world to see. And this was something that's very new to me.
Now, you've listed some things, and like our viewers are probably saying, well, there are events that you could have gone to in New York City. So what's the difference between these events that you go to here, culturally speaking, and like some random events that you would go to in a place like New York that's also full of things?
Well, I mean, just to be blatant, it's basically Ghanaians, it's Africans, it's people of color that are showcasing their products, and that's what makes it different, that's what makes it special. I didn't come here with the expectation that I would see those things. So for me, it may not seem, well, actually for me it seems special. For someone listening, they might, like you said, not seem special, but it's here, it's in Ghana. It's for people that, are starting with the raw materials, and they bring it to production for you to purchase. And to me, it's so much more organic that way, from, reaping to sowing to actually having it ready for sale. To me, it's just really special. And there's just a different connection, I feel like, with the people selling the product.
So if I hear you, it's whether it's an experience, art, performance, music, drum, band, or merchandise product, you're really appreciating the whole A to Z contribution of Africans, where you're enjoying the outcome or the finished product, versus like in New York City, where we had season tickets to Carnegie Hall. We would go to a variety of things, but there was no cultural connection or even spiritual connection.
I think in almost every product, artwork, play, you always feel like a connection, that you don't have to look for it or try to find a deeper meaning. It's just kind of there. So it just makes it, more enjoyable and unencumbered.
Which is really interesting, because our life in New York City there were 2 or 3 cultural events per year that we would go to. The
Circle of Sisters
in the park, the African Festival in the park,
right.
and BAM.
Yeah. Dance Africa.
Dance Africa. And so we would like wait all year for these 3 events. But here in Ghana,
It's like every day.
every day you go out is an event. And I think that's the beauty of it that I'm understanding from you. Every day, for the 3 things that we waited for and prepared for all year, it's like every day you wake up and you enjoy this.
It's a daily cultural immersion, which is
A daily
nice.
cultural immersion. That sounds like it's good for the soul.
Yeah, for certain.
Next topic is, what are you looking forward to the most? So for me, a couple of things. First thing is I continue to look forward to be the landing space, a safe space for people considering moving here or investing here. I'm touched at how subscribers, viewers, and our members have put their trust in me for everything. I'm looking forward to meeting more of you, to hosting most of you. I'm looking forward to meeting more Ghanaians who have projects in need of exposure, capital, and growth. And because Ghana is so raw, and even in this raw and new stage, I love everything about it. So to me, it can only get better. Also, I'm looking forward to using our privilege to do whatever we can do along with our members to do our part so that Ghanaians can have as many opportunities to realize their full potential as possible. We all have to win. Now, we're not saviors. We do have the power to make small positive changes. So, excited about that. And finally, everything that we do is to attract dollar inflows to Ghana by way of investment, by way of tourism, by way of relocation. And so these are some of the things that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I guess for me, I'm looking forward to really just seeing the fruits of all of these projects. You know, what will they yield? You know, whether it's more collaborations with local Ghanaians, other African countries, expats, if it's new relationships, definitely supporting young entrepreneurs because they're definitely their future. Sponsoring events, hopefully one day, bringing more diaspora to the continent, which is our dream, our long-term dream. Whatever it is, I'm ready for it.
So with that quick recap and just some thoughts on our first year here in Ghana, are we staying or are we leaving?
We're definitely staying. There was no doubt in my mind about that.
I can truly say that I have not had one single major regret about moving here. I almost feel a little sad to say that outside of, the variety of different foods that we were so used to, I don't miss anything about America. I believe what has really helped me was not coming here with any Western expectations. I mean, I just came here and I let Ghana unfold in front of me. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.
If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for alerts on our next video.
And also, please consider joining our Off the Wheel membership group. And we challenge you to ask that question. The question that got us here. Would life be better for you here? And as always, if you were ever in Ghana, please consider staying at our Airbnb or even just stop by for a beer, a glass of wine, or a scotch. Let's strategize, let's collaborate, let's build. So, thank you for watching and see you next time.
You groove it, Africa. You groove it, Africa. The music, Africa. You move it, Africa. You wear clothes, Africa. You wear clothes, Africa. You're dancing, Africa. You're dancing, Africa. You're prancing, Africa. You're prancing, Africa. Romancing, Africa. You going, Africa. You going, Africa. You going, Africa. Yeah.